I remember that day. It was on a Monday. You know, and when it happened, I kissed. I was super ashamed, like, but that started a ball rolling in my life. It was so terrible. From there, it started. It was just like a portal was opened for more than oh God. I started all those values, all those desires, everything. I started dropping them consciously and unconsciously, every one of them, just to make this person happy so I can get my basic needs. You know, so that was how I continued and continued. And it was getting worse and worse. And I sometimes find out that when I'm bathing in the bathroom, through the keyhole, it comes and looked through. How I knew was when somebody that was sick, a lady that was sick, came to the house, and so he was trying to advise me not to use the toilet, and he said, the way you sit on the toilet. I was like, how did you know that? And then I realized that when I'm bathing and when I'm using the toilet, there's somebody watching me, you know, from the door keyhole. I think my second year in the house, we went for a convention, and so normally I don't use the toilet in the convention, but I was really pressed, so I used the toilet. And after the convention, I had this toilet infection, you know, and it was terrible that I was always itching and all that. So I met this person that I needed drugs. I needed drugs to treat myself, and you know, and he said until he sees me open my legs for him to see the effect of that infection, that he wasn't going to give me money to get the drugs. Shocker, but yes. And I refused doing that. And so one of my aunts came to the house, and I begged her to help me, to assist me, you know, that I needed money to get drugs, and that was how she did. And it just suppressed that infection. And it was just because the treatment wasn't thorough. It was just about, I think about, let me say, 5 years ago that I was able to really treat that infection properly. You know, so that was how it continued, because I was writing JAMB at this point. I was making JAMB, I was making post-UTME ball, maybe a little over the cutoff, maybe I gained admission in the university that's not my choice and stuff. And so I was still in the house. You know, I think I wrote JAMB 4 times, and it was the 4th time that I accepted the admission, because it was my choice university that I gained admission in. And during those times, it wasn't easy. That consciousness was there. Don't worry, you soon go to school, so that you don't raise any eyebrow, so that you can't go to your parents' house at this point, because everybody will start asking questions. You know, you've already vowed. And I made a vow when I came. I said, since this place is okay, this place is safe for me. You know, when I just came in, I said, I'm going to get married from this house. You know, and so just getting to change things was difficult for me, quite difficult for me. And then that was how we kept pulling. And I tell you that I compromised. Like, gifts was another thing. Like, when you are in good terms with this person, like, you come around, you kiss him, you hold him, you know, and all that. There were times where he comes into the room and wants to touch me, and he does touch me, you know. And that was how the sexual harassment continued. Like, it continued. And I tell you that why this person didn't have his way was 2 things. First, it was size. Okay? yeah, it was size. Like I was small. I was a child. I wasn't a child. I was small. I was tight, and this person was get. So that was it. Then 2 was I was restrained. What I was restrained was, can I ever forgive myself if this thing happens? Will I ever be able to forgive myself? These were my questions. Well, so good. That, when I was 18, I went to write JAMB. Usually, when I go out to buy something, there's this shop that is not too far from the house. I usually see a guy there. He helps his sister out in the shop. And so, I'm always walking very fast. And usually, he will just be like, how are you? You walk too fast. I'll never answer, good morning, sir. I'm going to where I'm going to, that kind of thing. And I saw the guy at the town where I was posted to write JAMB. And that was where I got to talk to him. I was like, hey, you're here. How are you? And he said he was fine. So I'm writing JAMB, great. So that was how I got to start talking to this guy for real. So when we came back and then our JAMB result came out, I asked him, what was your JAMB score? What did you make? And on like that. And that was how we became kind of close, but we weren't really very, very close. So while this sexual pressure was coming, coupled with the fact that I had started seeing pornographic stuff. How I started seeing pornographic stuff, I didn't know about pornography. I didn't know such a thing was existing. But how it started was there was a visitor that came to the house. And when this visitor came, usually how we take the phones of our elder ones and the first place we go to those days is the gallery to check photos and videos. And now I think what kids go for mainly is games, but then it was the gallery first to see pictures. So that was how I went into the gallery. I took a big brother's phone and I checked, and I was looking at the pictures. Wow, this one is fine, this one is not fine. And I looked at the videos and I saw a pornographic content. And that was how another phase of my life began, another challenge crept in, and I started dealing with pornography. Now, I didn't have a phone. I didn't have a good phone where I can check that I have maybe internet connection, but at this time I had this Nokia touchlight phone. So there's usually this auntie that comes to our house during the weekend. I would save money during the week, get recharge card because of that. When you just start batting, sometimes the pool will just come, you want to see. So what did I see that day? I saw a white woman naked. Let me see how a white man will look like. Let me see how he's going to, and that was how I started being very, very inquisitive. I would take her phone, I would load the card in the phone and get into the internet and start looking at some things over the weekend. And that was how I continued. And so that put a lot of pressure also inside of me. Like, how will it be if a guy holds me like they held that girl in the video? How will it be like? How will I feel? How is the feeling like? How is the feeling like? You want to know. Yes, you want to feel something. Now the pressure was now coming. So I looked at myself. I was like, now I feel like I want to have sex. What am I going to do? If I do it with this person, I will never forgive myself. But what if I do it with someone else?